There's no need for the perception of diplomacy because it's not necessary, right? Well, maybe just, okay, that's redundant. Yeah, it is. Sorry. Not sorry and like I'm sorry, but Um, uh, sitting there looking at that one. That's the video for the for mature adults. And I stopped listening when I get to the part, about the Crow people and their things, and I'm being politically correct and whatever I'm doing, and I'm sitting there, okay, but I'm sitting there listening to it, going, okay, that was 5 years ago. It was before we had the COVID protocols and stuff. Yeah, okay. Wow, what a bunch of assholes. Yeah. I'm surrounded by assholes. Yeah, I know. I like on what was the name of that? What's the name of the show? Spaceballs. That's it. So I'm surrounded by assholes. They're all assholes. Whew. Tired. When you're doing things right, you don't have to sit down and discuss for diplomacy. You don't have to sit there and say, well, we have to do this like on Star Trek, with Dr. Captain Kirk and the guy who was the warrior that we needed, where now it's peace. And peace is not something you discuss. And peace isn't something that you negotiate. Okay. Peace is living righteously, right? Okay, so when you're living righteously, you're peaceful. And if you're not living righteously, your diplomacy is not going to help you, right? You don't understand how to be a faithful person. Like I was telling Dad today, these people in the world today, they're so manipulated by themselves, that people mistake or misinterpret honesty for truthfulness, right? And honesty is not truthfulness. Just because you honestly tell somebody, I wrote down on a piece of paper that money's real and we can kill over it and we can incarcerate you if you don't give it to us, doesn't make it truth, right? Truth is, God is the glory of life and the essence of your existence. And money is an invention by human beings to abuse one another and deny faith in the glory of life, right? So, as you exist, in the name of love, one more in the name of love, as you exist, you've got to understand how technology is getting better. It's because of people like myself throughout time, and not because of people like you that necessitated its invention to maintain our current state of being through perception of diplomacy, right? And so, people, it's taken a long time to start getting the technology in a position to where it can be used for human beings to live peacefully, right? And so, fiddly diddly diddly do, fiddly diddly diddly dee. Tired. Yeah. Life's eternal, grace is infinite, and I know in the future people like myself will live longer, healthier, more fulfilling, romantic, kind, caring, beautiful existence. And so, being a beautiful person, I long for that day, for us to be able to share that and for kids to live it and pass it on to their descendants and share the beauty of that rapture with their ancestors immediately, And if people don't like that, well, then Hitler will go commit suicide. Wealthy people in the past will die angry and miserable because they couldn't kill everybody they hated and couldn't be the emperors of the universe, you know. And but that's all right. I looked around and found true love. But that's okay, right? It's okay if shitty people don't get their way, right? And holy crap. Sorry, I was watching the football game. It's like, when he threw that ball, I thought, oh shit, that's going to get knocked down. Okay. There's no way that's going to end up getting a touchdown. And sure enough, it did. The Rams are all mad, saying that number 85 pushed off. And that's funny. So, but yeah, no, I did not expect that. That was a pretty nice play by old Caleb Williams there. That was funny. I like football. It's fun. You ever play football? It's fun. Okay, so it can be fun. There's a lot to it when you have a bunch of vicious idiots that are competitive and psychotic. A lot of horrible things can happen in football. Daryl Stingley, Lyle Zato, and the people dying from steroids. Walter Payton, because you have to feel you have to stay on top to try to pay everybody's bills, and take care of people. Stuff. Yeah. Well, like Suzuki explained to me, you're reacting. We talked about that in the last video and stuff, and so you just got to you've done it. I'm just an emotional person. And everybody, you bring most of this pain and stuff to yourself. That's not true. That is complete horseshit. Because it's hard to emotionally navigate through all this abuse. And it's not survival's remorse or feeling guilty. It's just, it really genuinely hurts when people are being abused and manipulated by technology through perverts. And it's not stopping. And we can all get together and share it publicly instead of, I made $1,100 last month off of YouTube for advertising. Yeah, isn't that wonderful? We all can't do that, but we can all apply the physics of the Lord's Prayer and live free from debt and trespass and mass murder. Right? When you're doing things right and you understand exponential growth and you understand the natural laws needed to sustain a life of faithfully loving one another, you'll be all right. Yeah. So and everybody, I don't stress over things. I know who I am. I know how abused I am by selfish people, and if you don't understand that, you're just selfish, and you're either a scientist who thinks your science projects are going to solve all our problems, or you're a person who's turned, who believes the books written down that are based off of fictional comic book characters and believes, that your imagination is that comic book character and that comic book character is a better person than me because you lack the faith and the courage to love the way I love. Yeah. Cowards are selfish, They're very selfish and they're abusive. And they refuse to be truthful. They think they're honest, but they're not truthful. We're given life by the glory of grace, and when you understand natural laws, then you do what is necessary to make sure that we all understand those natural laws so we can faithfully love one another free from abuse. And that's freedom. And so cowards, they got to win. They got to be champions. They got to be perfect. Everybody's, tell them how great they are. It's like, I don't want to be told how great I am. I just want people to live perfect faith because, life's eternal, grace is infinite, And I love people. I can't tell you how much I love people. I can't because you won't stand up for the Lord's Prayer with me. So you obviously don't understand. right? So I can't tell you how much I love people. When you stand up for the Lord's Prayer with me, you'll understand just how much I love people, right? And so until that day, I'll be your man. Try to love away your troubles if I can. In the world I used to know. I hardly ever hear that on my blue MP3 player anymore. Well, NASA's just mean to me. Okay. They're just assholes. Yeah, I've known that for a long time. And it's hard, go to the store in this town, a lot of the kids have NASA t-shirts on. And, and then I'll get Jesus in my head. Nazis had kids, and a lot of them were really cute, and some of them could even be really sweet because they didn't completely understand what mom and dad are doing because mom and dad kept it a secret because the ends justifies the means. Yeah, I get it. Oh, hail to the victors. Okay. So, hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss by wire. To be my heart's on fire. If you refuse me, honey, you lose me and you'll be left alone. Oh, baby, come on and tell me I'm your own. Everybody's doing the Michigan rag. Stomp, jump, jumps the Michigan. Yay, hoo, cap light of Michigan. The cap light of Michigan rag. Best healthcare ever, right? It's a lie. Of course it's a lie. Best healthcare ever, living the Lord's Prayer. And then we can get back to the faith of Psalms and the wisdom of Proverbs, and then you'll understand how much I love people. Okay. Everybody's doing the Michigan rag. I like the Maple Leaf rag, don't you? Yeah, it's a good one. Okay. My mom really likes Scott Joplin. Yeah. The Entertainer. I do like the Maple Leaf rag, but I do think the Entertainer is my favorite. But I like a lot of them. But you don't have to pick a favorite. You can just like them. Sometimes you do kind of have a favorite. I haven't heard many songs by the chairman of the board, but I'm pretty sure that Give Me Just a Little More Time just might be my favorite. I don't know. I liked a lot of the songs I listened to by the Free Movement. They're really good. Oh my gosh, yeah, they're good. But I really do like, I found someone of my own. She said I found somebody new. I got to put that on the MP3. It was weird. I was sitting there, I haven't thought of or heard or that takes me like way back to the 70s when I was a kid. Like I haven't heard that in like years, right? So I went and looked it up, and I said, she said I found it, and I found someone of my own. But yeah, so that's a good song, It's yeah, I like it. I put out my cigarette, turned and walked away. Turned and walked away. She said I found somebody new. So I found somebody new to take your place. It's gonna take your place. Right. I think he's making this shit up. What do you think? You think it's really real? You think it's like Who's Julie? So now you know. I mean, I don't think Who's Julie. I don't think Mel Tillis is making up Who's Julie, right? I think that's really happening, right? But I think when she comes in and does that, I think he's making that up. When those are the only nights when you left me all alone, my new love would call and comfort me on the phone. I think he's just making that up to make her feel better. So it's easier, Make it easy on yourself. So he can, not make her feel so bad about what she did. Just, he's taking the high road. He's a cowboy, On a steel horse I ride it. I want it dead or alive. Hey, I don't think Steve McQueen had a steel horse. No. That's Kevin Kline and Will Smith. So isn't that what they call the trains and boats and planes? Don't know. Don't care. I'm tired, I'm tired of being abused. I'm tired of selfish people. I'm tired of selfishness. I'm tired of stupidity. But life is eternal, grace is infinite, and I love children. They're so cute. Okay. And I love families. And I love the promise of a hopeful tomorrow, living faithful love in people, And I'm not going to become jaded by selfish, manipulative assholes with technology that manipulate people with money to say, well, these people aren't worth a shit because they won't stand up for the Lord's Prayer with me publicly and they're such a bunch of assholes, right? I'm not going to do that, okay? And so, whew. Have you guys figured out how much the Messiah loves you and how much you don't love him yet? Look, guys, if you think, okay, that you're not required to stand up without fear for the commands of Jesus Christ, because he already did it for you, okay, why would Jesus want to live with you forever in heaven? If you'll cling to your flesh to try to have all the things of this world and then have your cake and eat it too, so I could have my cake and eat it too, but how I cried over losing you. See me down and out, but I ain't about to go living my life without you. So every day I made you cry. I'm praying Earl till the day I die. Earl rhymes with girl. I'm working my way back to you. You don't have to work your way back to me. All you have to do is, like Muhammad said, submit to faith and the glory of the grace, stand up for the commands of Jesus Christ, live the kingdom of heaven as Aki. Okay? And if you don't do that, and I fixed the quantum computing and you didn't do that, okay, this isn't like in King David's time or Jesus's time where they, you don't know who the assholes were who put him in the purple robe and mocked him. Okay, you know who Herod is. Okay. But we don't know who Herod is in the continuation of the flesh today. Like we know who Adam Moses, Daisy, Jesus, John is, and who is the one like Malachi and Melchizedek and Muhammad and Abraham. Right? Do you understand? Okay. There's a reason why there's not prophecy saying, oh, Elon Musk is the one like Herod. And Andrew Womack, he's like Himmler. Okay. Yeah, there's no prophecy saying no one gives a fuck. No one cares. No one sits there and prays and goes, help us, one like King David. We want to be saved from all the people with the technology and the money. We've saved that horrible person in India. Says, I'm going to have more robots than cars in the future. Wow, Judah Krishnamurti, help. Judah Krishnamurti, help. He already did. You as a human being, why don't you change, right? What more do you require of Judah Krishnamurti? He's not going to build you robots to fight the other guy's robots so he can have more robots than you need have cars to pay your bills because the cow is in the middle of the road, right? We cannot move. The cow is in the middle of the road. The cow is a god. That's just batshit crazy. I know, but I got to pay my bills and these people all agree to it. Okay, do you understand? I'm going to take a bird and I'm going to sacrifice it to a statue to try to get a husband because I want to live through sexual reproduction to my wife, Mina. Okay, do you understand? That's insane. I know, Guri. Oh, Guri, okay. Hori chori. Okay, do you understand? So, I like that song. Yeah. I just wish it was, well, I like... It's because they have the part into it, where they don't have like a soundtrack and stuff like with Blue Hawaii. It would be nice if they just had the whole song of just Guri and Bhuvan singing to each other. But they interrupt it with, I'm in love with Min Saib. And that kind of throws off the feng shui of the song. It works for the movie, but it doesn't work if you want to listen to the song because you like the song, right? Makes sense, yeah. Kukuipo, I love you more today than yesterday. But I'll love you less today, less than I will tomorrow. See the sweet Hawaiian rose, see it blossom, see it grow. That's the story of our love, ever since we said hello. Did you like that song? I like that song too. Yeah. Which one's your favorite from that movie? There's Can't Help Falling in Love with You, No More, and Kukuipo. Yeah. That's tough, huh? You don't have to pick a favorite. You can like them all. That's right. You don't require a favorite. Right there, you don't have to, there's no diplomacy. You have to pick a favorite. Why do I have to pick a favorite? Like Patrick did with Corey. Which one of your parents do you love more, your dad or your mom? And Patrick was like, neither. And he goes, you have to choose. Your mom goes out with other women all the time and lies to the courts and gets all the money and stuff, and your dad takes care of you and doesn't run down your mom. You got to love dad more than mom, right? No, dad told me I don't have to love either one of us more. I just have to love us for who we are, not for what we want us to be. For love dad and mom for who they are, not who I want them to be. That's what dad told me. Okay. What happened? Patrick wanted me to be what he wanted me to be and not who I was. And his mom was the same way. She wanted to say that she would love me if I was what she wanted me to be and not for who I was. And me, I love her for who she is. I just wasn't going to be with her for the way she was, because she wanted me to be, she wouldn't love me for me. She loved me for what she wanted me to be. And me, you couldn't love her for what she was. She would abuse you every time you weren't doing everything she wanted. And that's not right. And every time she didn't do what I wanted, I wouldn't abuse her, but it would be hard because she was trying to manipulate you to do what she wanted, and she was abusive to you if you didn't do what she wanted. That's hard. Yes, it is. And that's how abusive people are, and it affects their children. And diplomacy can't save you, son, and neither can your money. And your technology, I'm working on it. I'll have it fixed. When? Hopefully sooner than later, right? I can't tell you for sure. I don't know. I'm not insane, and I didn't invent the technology or vote in the contest and put taxpayer money into it and support their businesses to give them technology to manipulate matter with human beings that want to be part of the manipulation of matter through competition, through success, through competition, which is insanity. Success is successfully tying your shoe, successfully planting your crops and growing strawberries. That's success. Ooh, I like strawberries and cantaloupe. Me too. How successful of you. Okay, guys. I love you. All right. Peace out.